Oh boy, we got a fight over there, Joe.
That's the sergeant.
That's the sergeant. We might have to move, Joe. I don't know if this is any good. Hey, Rev, how do we look? Joe's got me sitting right in the damn sunlight. Feel like a vampire. There's Alfred Clues, Joe.
How you doing, Alfred? How is that?
Looking good. We look good. Hi, Paul Greenwell. Hi, Nahum. Nahum's in the house, Joe. Your old buddy.
Hi, Ivan. How are you doing?
Hi, Ivan. It's a bit glaring. So what does that mean, bro? You just said we were great. Are we shit or are we good?
Hi, Marilu. How is everything? All right. We have new people.
Everybody's saying hi, Joe. Why does everybody say hi, Joe? Not one person says hi, Bob. They're like, screw Bob.
Hi, Bob. How are you doing?
Oh, look at that. Joe Hernandez gave me a shout out.
How you doing, Joe?
Nan said hi, Paul. Rev, how we looking, bro?
How are you, bro?
I was saying that you are both handsome, and then I was saying there is a glare. Yeah, I think we should go over there. Can you guys appreciate today's show, or should I move to a different table? We'll find out. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't like the glare. See that sun right there, Joe? That's the thing I talk about every time we do a show out here.
There is no sun.
I would move. They're saying, let's move. Guys, we'll be back in 10 seconds. Well, you'll stay with us. We'll just walk over there.
They stay with you.
Joe doesn't care what table he gets. Joe doesn't understand the complexity of lighting. Joe doesn't understand the complexity of being a huge YouTube star. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the difference here. Look at this. You're over here, Joe.
Live streaming?
Yeah, we live streaming.
Oh, y'all live?
We try it.
Y'all be safe, yeah?
What's poppin'? Thank you, man. Much better. You can now see the handsome contours of my face. Joe, you see there's no sun here? See how nice it is?
Yeah, they were people here.
By the way, guys, look over my shoulder. Look back here. You see that old dude back there? Right there? I thought that was Joe when I was walking up. I went to walk and sit at his table. Look at the guy right there, Joe. Look where my finger pointing. The old guy right there. I thought that was you.
How are you?
I thought that was you, Joe.
I told him, how are you?
Yeah. Did he say anything back?
That's your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Oh, how you doing?
That's Jordan Jim over there. It was the wrong guy. I literally started walking to his table. I heard Joe go, hey! And Joe's over there. What's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Boogie Bob, along with his plutonic sidekick, his soulmate. It's Jordan Joe. Joe, how are you, my friend?
All right.
How was your vacation?
All right.
Where'd you go on your vacation, Joe?
Well, one day was his vacation. I was home.
Joe was home. Streaming with Vinny G's in the house.
How you doing, Jenny?
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny with Streaming B. Ambrose is in the house. Alaska Storms is in the house. Hello, how are you? Alaska's here all the way from New Jersey. And Jersey's here from Ohio. And Cleveland's here from Schenectady. Brooklyn Born's here from Queens. Joe, should we start the show? Did we already start the show? I guess we kind of started the show. Here's the thing. Boom. Joe, by the way, guess who won the Super Bowl?
You.
Me. Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. By the way, there's Rihanna. We're going to talk about her. She revealed that she is pregnant.
Hi, Rihanna.
It was insane. Hi, Rihanna. She watches every day. It was insane, Joe, because she was hanging on these damn platforms. The Super Bowl's down here on the ground. She's on platforms all over the sky. It was insane. And, okay, here we go with the conspiracy theories. I want everyone to know, everyone, not just me, that the rumors that the NFL is scripted is insane. There has been 250,000 players. Not one, even the ones kicked out for drugs and violence in prison, ever snitched. The score was not leaked. They can't. I played organized football. You can't fake an organized football game. If you think for a minute that Patrick Mahomes goes, okay, I got a fumble right here because it said on line 7. Please don't fall for that stuff. That's like saying the earth is flat. That's like saying their election was rigged. These are people who play professional sports. Now, can referees get a paycheck and fake some things? Yes. Do you think before a game, 75 people in the locker room, including coaches, water boys, management, and so what do you tell the Eagles players? Hey, here's the script. You lose the most important thing in your life tonight, but have a good time. Don't tell no one. There are people that believe we didn't go to the moon. There's people that believe a whole lot of things.
Hi, Nadine. How are you?
Hi, Nadine. How are you? Anyways, there is absolutely no chance in hell that that is scripted. A player went online last week to joke about the scripting, and then people, it's gotta be true, he joked about it. All right, Trump. Donald Trump wants to get a casino going in the Bronx.
I'm gonna go partner with him.
You can partner with him? I think you can. You can enjoy your jail cell with the guy, because he's going to
no
prison.
jail for nobody.
Gaming giant Bally's is betting on the Bronx by proposing a casino next to Trump organization, next to his golf course. It's nothing to do with Trump. Trump can't put his name on anything right now. You think a casino's going to invest billions of dollars in Trump? He does have 30% that love him, but he's got 70% of the human population that despises his guts. They would never do that.
He's smart to make money.
I don't think he is smart. I do believe he has no morals. Look at this, Joe. Look at this idiotic. Look at this purse. Tunisia, look at this big ass purse. This is, you kind of walk around. Hi guys, let me get on the train with my big ass purse.
Hi, Nadine. How are you?
Where's Nadine?
That's Nadine watching?
No, I don't see Nadine. Nadine called on the phone. That's the new thing is the oversized purse. The hottest handbags. Yves Saint Laurent handbags are $5,000.
Not enough people in the subway. Even bags, they make it more crowded than ever.
But subways are crowded, especially if you go at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Archaeologists have revealed a group of structures discovered in the famed Mayan Chichen Itza archaeological site in Mexico. Joe, you know that Mexico has a whole bunch of beautiful archaeological treasures. These pyramids, these Mayans had built, Aztecs.
They do.
Anyways, they had just discovered part of a housing complex inhabited by the elite. Those are the guys who had money back then. In the sacred city founded in the 5th century. Archaeologists said the housing complex represents the first residential group where a ruler lived with his entire family. The area known as Chichen Viejo is expected to be integrated into the visitor area of the Chichen Itza. I don't know. Good for them. Joe, when you grew up in the Aztec gun victims' dying moments. This is the dying moments of a gun victim, Joe. I don't even know if I... Surveillance footage captures the aftermath of the fatal shooting at a Harlem smoke shop, showing the victim stumbling across the street and collapsing in a pool of blood. I'm not going to show that. Second brother dies in a street shooting. Where at, Joe?
Right?
In the Bronx. By the way, Joe, I love the Bronx. Do you love the Bronx?
Well, some neighborhoods in Harlem, I like some neighborhoods are very, what you call it, nice lecture, building with character.
Character.
Beautiful building.
Well, every borough has that. They also have, Manhattan has these beautiful sky rises. You go down the Lower East Side, you feel like you could be mugged. So it's when we have our running joke of the Bronx. I got one lady who always gets in my comments, Bob, how dare you? I love the Bronx.
Yeah.
Hip hop started in the Bronx. The Yankees are the Bronx. I have 100 friends in the Bronx. Bronx has some beautiful, beautiful people and beautiful community.
Good restaurants.
So when I have a running joke with Joe, where at, Joe? The Bronx. That's just a thing we do on the show.
If you like Jamaican food, you go to the Bronx, which is I like.
I did not know that.
You
But you know, Joe, if you want Bronx food, go to Jamaica. Second brother dies in a Bronx shooting, Joe. 37-year-old man.
For the family.
Horrible. Was wounded in a broad daylight shooting that left his brother dead in front of the Bronx Popeyes. Joe,
That's
this was
the
a
one
Jordan
I
Joe
told you
exclusive.
about.
He told us about the Popeyes. Joe said they got killed over chicken. He was shot in the stomach. The shooting broke out during a dispute of unknown nature. So it wasn't technically over chicken, but it was at the Popeyes. Joe, we talk about this all the time, guys. You're gonna go on the subway. Don't stand by the yellow line looking down and saying, "Where's the?" We all do it. I do it every time I go in there. I wrap my arm around a damn pole. I put my arm around Joe, and I don't let him push me on the track. I don't trust the old lady behind me. She could be the weirdo who's going to be on the news pushing me on the track.
Sometimes you get dizzy and you feel.
Sometimes there's hundreds of thousands of people that take the train every day.
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of thousands of people around the world that faint every day.
Yeah.
If I fainted right here, I'd land on the concrete. But if you faint in the subway, Joe, you land on them damn tracks. So just, guys, stay away from the edge.
Yeah.
I'm 280 pounds, bro. 270 something. If they want to put me on the tracks, they're going to have to drag my ass because I'm going to lay on the ground. They can drag me. See if they can drag my ass over there. Anyways, a stranger shoved a 66-year-old man onto the tracks. Where at, Joe?
Where, in the Bronx?
Nope, Brooklyn. Why are you saying that, Joe?
Same thing.
In the Brooklyn subway station Sunday, but the victim was able to scramble to safety before the train arrived.
Yeah.
The push happened around 3 p.m. on the 2 line. I didn't even know we had a damn 2 line. President Street Station in Crown Heights. The victim made no contact with the train and was held back on the platform by who? New Yorkers, Joe. New Yorkers are typically really good people.
Good New Yorkers, yes.
He suffered minor injuries with his wrist and his torso. The tracks are typically 6 feet down. So if you're up on the platform and you fall, you're falling 10 feet down. So you're always going to have a broken wrist, a hip, an ankle. Just don't touch the third rail. Just don't touch the third rail. New York City set a felony record with 172,000 offenses in 2022. We're number one. We're number one. All right. Owner reopens beloved Italian eatery. I don't know. Ciao is back on the menu. I don't care. Spend the night at the opera. Literally. Spend the night at the opera. Airbnb is offering a night for 2 at the Palais Garnier Opera House in Paris. They're going to do an Airbnb, Joe. They're going to open up the opera house, let you watch a show, and then you can spend the night there in the damn creepy rafters. No thanks. Plus, what does that cost? Joe, we've been talking about it all week. I didn't think it could happen again, Joe. What keeps happening over and over and over again, Joe?
You mean...
what keeps happening over and over?
You mean
this
is like immigration
Nope.
war
Nope.
against their own people, you know. They, half of them, they reach Europe, but half
Joe,
of them
look what I'm
will
pointing
die
at.
before they reach
Look what I'm pointing
Europe.
at, Joe.
Oh, here's another...
Pointing at no damn immigrants.
Oh, I thought the immigration.
I'm pointing at the
A
thing.
boat?
And Joe sees the boat and thinks it's immigrants.
Well,
So we've had
that's another one.
another blimp shot down last night, Joe, or another unidentified flying
When is
object
it?
shot down last night, Joe. That's 4 in a week. We had the one from China. That's not unidentified. We know what it is. By the way, unidentified flying object does not mean it's technically little space aliens. It just means it's unidentified. We don't know what it is at this time. Pretty soon, you're going to be floating around in one of them damn balloons that you rent, where you pull a hot air balloon and they're going to shoot your ass down. Republican congressmen, Sunday, these congressmen are losing their mind. Why? Because Biden's in the White House. These Republicans, first they bitched at him for not shooting it down quicker, now they're bitching at him for shooting down all of them. Balloon used to jeer U.S. A Republican congressman Sunday suggested the Chinese spy balloon that traveled the nation earlier this month was intended to humiliate the United States. Well, it didn't. It got its ass shot down. All right. Another one over the U.S. We've had 3 over the U.S., Joe, and 1 over Canada. We shot them all down, and the one in Canada, they asked us. Canada said, hey, Trudeau said, can you shoot it now? We said, you got it. U.S. fighter jet shot down another one, this time over Lake Huron. I don't know where that's at, Joe. Marking the 3rd time such action was taken in as many days. 3 days, 3 balloons. Do you think there's going to be one tonight? Joe, do you think there'll be a balloon shot down tonight? Or an object?
Object.
Joe? Excuse me. You said it. I thought you were crazy, Joe. Sometimes you are crazy, Joe. You said it. Right now, Joe, confirmed 34,000 people have died in the earthquake in Turkey and in Syria. How horrible is that, Joe?
Not yet, not yet. There's still.
They've got a lot more to
still
go.
taking out.
Some of it is so compact.
Corpses.
Yeah, they're going to be. They pulled a kid out last night. He has survived 200 hours under there. These are frigid temperatures. You're just stuck. You're just stuck. You're
They
stuck
pulled
like
up
this. You can't
a
move.
baby about 2 years old. Too.
Yeah, well, I would hope.
No family. He lost all his family.
Here it is, Joe. How a mother recalled surviving 4 days buried underneath the rubble of the buildings in Turkey with her 10-day-old baby
Yeah.
clinging to her chest. A mother, Joe, with a 10-day-old baby. Nekla Kamuz, 33, and her newborn 10-year-old baby Yagiz. I don't know if that's a boy or girl, meaning brave one. I think it's probably a boy, but it could be a girl. Miraculously survived the 7.8 trembler. Why not just call her earthquake?
They're not gonna go build up those cities on this weak ground.
It's gonna be
it's impossible
decades,
to build up city
decades.
on the same place where this earthquake happened.
Listen,
they're gonna go for a safer area to build those cities and put those
it's gonna take
refugees.
decades. It can never be put back the way
It's
it
gonna
was.
take about 10 to 20 years.
Well, Joe, this mother was breastfeeding her baby at 4:17 a.m. inside the family's second-floor apartment in Hatay, in the province, when her home began to shake. As the earthquake got bigger, the wall fell, the room was shaking, the building was changing position, she said. When it stopped, I didn't realize that I had fallen down 1 flight. With her infant cradled against her chest, she was able to move just enough to breastfeed her baby for 4 days, Joe. A mother will do anything. She lift that damn building to save her child. And this is just a beautiful story amongst the horror and the carnage.
It's a horrible event.
The one thing that hurts my heart the most, Joe, is they have families across the street in tents. They're refusing to go home. They're waiting to see if their loved one is found. There's that hope against hope that you'll find your loved one. Yesterday they found a dog in the rubble and the head was sticking out of it. It was horrible. The dog was alive. I don't know if they were digging it out. It was crying. And yesterday they found a family of 5. Sometimes, Joe, the thing collapses around you and you're sitting under a living room table underneath for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
They're trying to put microphones down in there, dogs. They're telling everybody turn off the radios and speakers so they can listen and see if they hear anybody. So far, 30 million donation for victims. An anonymous donor. Joe, an anonymous donor. How beautiful is this?
Jordanian
Contributed $30 million. This is one person.
Jordanian
Got to be from Jordan.
no, a Jordanian millionaire. He actually gifted them 10 big
Come on, Joe.
big cards.
Oh,
You know,
10 what? Bitcoins?
No, $10 million, I think, or
Oh,
something.
okay. All right.
I forgot his name. I read it, but that means there is good people around.
Well, deeply moved by the example of an anonymous Pakistani who walked into a Turkish embassy and donated $30 million to people he did not know, Joe. What a blessing.
In
what
Pakistan?
A good Pakistani man went into the
Very
Turkish
good.
embassy
Very good.
and refused to be identified. He doesn't want to be on the front page going, Steve Johnson is here, I'm the man. He just went up, he gave $30 million. That is called a kind act.
Well, that's a great act. I gave them $100. That's all I got.
And I appreciate that. Guys, there are plenty of places that you could donate to. I would suggest the Red Cross, but don't do GoFundMes because a lot of those are scams. We want to make sure that we don't do that. All right. Joe, we're not going to do. I'm not doing
Those immigrants, they were
immigrants, coyotes.
busted in Texas. They're
Just
going
a
to send them to
never-ending-
New York.
Did you guys enjoy the Super Bowl? Joe, you didn't watch it.
I don't know what's going on.
I cooked my world famous ziti. I was going to make burgers. I chose not to. Some of the best commercials that stood out to me. Doritos had a pretty good one. Skechers with Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. Popcorners is a little snack, and it was the guys from Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul from their damn Breaking Bad show. They had Rihanna was the highlight. Mother-to-be Riri's performance, Joe. There she is. At one point, she popped open. She was wearing a big baggy coat. At one point, she popped it open to reveal she's getting ready to have another baby, and that makes me very, very happy for her and her family. All right, Joe. NC. What's NC? North Carolina. North Carolina cops are in trouble with a fatal tase video, a taser. Some of the times they tase you. Joe, I got into a fight one time back in California. I went to a place called Carl's Jr.'s. It's like a Burger King or a Wendy's. It's a famous fast food place out there. It was, I had performed at a college, and then some kids at the next table, African-American kids, said, "Oh, you the rapper guy?" I said, "Yeah." Rap was kind of new to California. We didn't really have it out there like that. And he was like, "Oh man, you were great." And then for some reason, he punched my friend in the face. There was 6 or 7 of them, Joe, plus a couple females. And I don't drink, but I had been drinking that night. So I started mopping the floor with the whole crew. I'm punching and fighting and scratching and kicking. Well, the cops came. It is, Carl's Jr.'s is Hardee's. The cops came, they tasered me 3 times. I was a victim, but because I could fight and I was punching all these guys in their face, and this girl had her thumb in my eye like a damn bowling ball, the cops came and tased me 3 times, Joe. I'm not a tough guy. I have the police report at home. I still have the police report. I should bring it. I will bring it. I want you guys, I'll read it to you so you guys can see what happened.
Tasing people with heart problem is very dangerous.
Yeah, I've never
It can
understood
kill you.
the power of it because they tased me 3 times. I just was like, all I heard was bzzz. It scared the shit out of me, but it didn't stop me from punching people. When cops come up and try to grab you, Joe, stop punching people. That's what you do.
Just to stop. Don't
I got arrested. They drove me, the cops put me in the back of the cop car, handcuffed me, drove me around the corner, pulled over and said, "Okay, get out." What are you talking about? I said, "You're good.
Really?
You're good. Yeah, let me go. You're good." I did get a police report. I didn't go all the way to the police station house or nothing. Apparently the manager said I was just defending my friend. Anyways, So I've never understood the tase, but you're right, Joe. You get someone with a bad heart, or if you get an overzealous cop who keeps tasing you. 6 Raleigh, North Carolina police officers were placed on administrative leave. 6 after a man died in their custody last month. The new released footage shows they repeatedly used stun guns on him, even as he told them he had a heart problem. That's why Joe gets paid the big bucks. Joe knows. We should do t-shirts. Joe knows.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Daryl Tyree Williams, 32, died January 17th, shortly after he fled the arrest for alleged drug possession. Joe, you got drugs on you, cops are chasing you. I don't blame you for running. What are you gonna do? Police on Friday released video detailing what led up to the fatal arrest. Officers fired a taser at him while trying to arrest him on possession of controlled substance. As they said, they found a dollar bill with white powder in his pocket. Guy did a line of coke. What is your problem? Let him go. After being tased, Williams can be heard pleading, "I've got heart problems." Officers used the taser for a 3rd time, prompting Williams to cry out in pain. The video shows he lost consciousness and died an hour later. Oh boy.
Too bad for those 5 cops. They're gonna go lose their jobs and go to jail.
Joe, one of the biggest colleges in the world is Harvard.
Harvard University.
Almost impossible to get into unless you got 5.0, grade 4.9, grade .0.
Or one of the son of those
Or you're
magnates.
the son. If you're the son, if you're Donald Trump's son, you can get it.
Yeah, you can.
A baseball bat wielding Harvard law student was arrested last month for targeting a classmate in a racist, homophobic attack. Racist and homophobic. He's checking off all the boxes. Nayaud Nega, 27, was charged with assault and battery for the purpose of intimidation and a hate crime under Massachusetts state law. He pleaded not guilty. The Harvard Crimson, that's the newspaper, reported. Nega, I said Nega. Even his name is tricky. You gotta be careful, bro. N-E-G-A, Nega, allegedly hurled homophobic and racist slurs at a classmate threatened wielding a baseball bat. The male punched a college student in an unprovoked attack, intimidated them due to their sexual orientation. He was being a homophobe. After the attack, he was brought to a hospital where he assaulted at least 5 employees. Oh, I hope they kick his ass out of Harvard. Of course they're going to kick his ass out of Harvard. Donald Trump has turned up the gas on DeSantis. He calls him DeSanctimonious and rat face or something like that. Because you know Trump, you're not going to beat Trump at the insult game because he'll go there. Trump will talk about your wife. Ask Ted Cruz. Told Ted Cruz's wife Heidi was ugly. Sex and the City costume designer, I don't care. Megan Fox, I don't care. Kevin Durant is setting up into his new home after his eye-popping trade. What? Ambrose, what the hell is your problem? Why wouldn't you tell me? Edward Griffin, why did you not tell me about this? Kevin Durant is setting up into his new home after his eye-popping trade from Brooklyn to Phoenix. Holy shit. Kevin Durant is one of the best players in the world, Joe. You get him on your team, you have a very good chance of going to the playoffs and maybe to the championship. That's what happened when he came to my Warriors. He went there, he got himself a chip, which is a ring, and then he left and went to Brooklyn where the money's at. He's a 7 foot tall, amazing player. I did not know that he got traded. Nan, why wouldn't you tell me this, bro? I did not know he got traded. Guys, if you know anything about hockey, you'll know that the greatest hockey star of all time is who? Joe, who's the greatest hockey star of all time? Joe's from the Middle East. He doesn't go near the ice. The only ice he has is in his iced tea or his iced coffee.
No, I hockey on the sand.
Joe hockey's on the sand.
Yes.
Joe hockey's on the sand.
Me and my camel. We hockey.
It is Wayne Gretzky. Some people say Gordie Howe, but it's Wayne Gretzky. Well, That's Wayne Gretzky's daughter. Look at that, bro. Holy crap. If you have her number, it's important I talk to her in strictly business, Joe. Do you know her number, Joe?
You don't want to know it.
I do want to know her number. What are you cock-blocking
You
me
were
for,
crying for $150.
$1,000.
What is that theater ticket yesterday?
It's a thrill to chill. Joe, why are you blowing up my spot all the time? I can't tell Joe nothing. He's a snitch. He's being a snitching. If I killed somebody and I came here and said, Joe, I killed somebody, he'd be on the show an hour later going, Robert told me he killed somebody. It's a thrill of the chill for Paulina Gretzky as she dons a bikini and not much else out in the snow. I don't know anything about her. I don't care. All right. Joe, do you happen to have $218 million I could borrow?
That's for a mention.
That's for this.
Wanna buy
Look at
it?
this. If you have $218 million, first of all, this has been in the paper for like 2 months. Exclusive offering. You can go to www.10carpet.com.
I don't pay $280,000 for that because that's about 100 rooms. What I need for 100 rooms?
If I had 100 rooms, I could keep a couple of my shorties in there, and I still have 99 empty rooms.
Who is going to clean all those rooms?
That's what I always say. Well, you got to buy a big ass mansion. Who's going to clean that?
You need you need 10 maids. Huh?
Joe, we lost Burt Bacharach. We lost Burt Bacharach. He was, I don't know. What are you
How you doing, Ted?
We talk about goodbye, Burt Bacharach. God bless you. Film company sues Allred and Alec. Alec Baldwin is, by the way, that's Gloria Allred. Gloria Allred is the most ambulance-chasing lawyer in the world. If a woman is called a name on the train, Gloria's right there. We're suing the train? We're suing the man who called her that? And that's what Gloria Allred has done for years. She's extremely successful. You don't want her on your problem. She's there. She will come for the money. She's what you call an ambulance chaser. Hey, a rancher's warning shots. The elderly Arizona rancher, Joe, this is the creep who killed the guy for walking across his property. He killed a migrant. The elderly Arizona rancher accused of killing a Mexican national only fired warning shots after a group of men pointed an assault rifle at him. His lawyers claim.
Well, he made a story.
Yeah, that's what he did, Joe. Say it again, Joe.
He made a story.
You killed this innocent man. What are you saying? No. He pointed guns at me, and then they threatened to kill my wife.
Immigrants, they have no money in their pocket.
George Allen Kelly, who is facing murder charges in the shooting death of Gabriel Cuen Betima, 48, acted in self-defense, says his lawyer. Kelly, 78, heard a gunshot while he was at his ranch near the border. Then he saw men dressed in camouflage running through the woods. None of them were known to him. He had not given any of them permission to come across his land. He went onto his porch with his rifle, where he then found himself staring down the barrel of an AK-47 rifle. This smells like bullshit, bro. The leader of the armed group of men saw Mr. Kelly, pointed the AK-47 right at him, but they didn't kill him. They were good criminals.
Liar.
He's a liar. Mr. Kelly, fearing for his life and safety, fired several shots, hoping to scare them away from him and his wife and his animals and his home.
Don't you know your grandfather stole that land from the from Mexico?
That's right, Joe. Mr. Kelly took care to aim well over their heads. He aimed over their heads. Here's where the story gets. I already know where the story's going. These guys are in camouflage, right? They got AK-47s trying to kill him. He shoots warning shots over the head. I think he's going to say his bullet hit someone else. That's exactly what he's going to say. He took very good care to aim well over their heads of the armed men, right? The group fled. After they left, Kelly found the body of a Mexican national He wasn't wearing camouflage. These guys they had rifles and they were going to kill him. So he shot above their heads and somehow his bullet landed down the road and killed some innocent guy.
That's very...
Joe, is that the worst story? You couldn't come up with something better than that? You better get a new lawyer, bro, because ain't no jury going to believe a word you say. You sound like a moron. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it, Joe. Joe, what's the weather like? You're the weatherman with the weather, man.
Where is it? I tell you the weather.
Oh, boy. Please don't read the whole...
How is your weather?
Please don't read the whole shit, Joe. Just tell me how it is in New York.
How is your weather?
My weather is you.
Okay, how... all right.
This is a new segment that I don't condone.
Well, today, Monday. What is... It's not... Today...
Joe, look around. It's a clear sky.
Today,
it's kind of nice
today is very sunny and it's nice with no clouds at all. It's as high as 58 and it's gonna go low to 43.
No clouds at all, just those.
No.
Just
All right.
just those clouds. That's
Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesday is gonna breezy in the morning. Otherwise, it's gonna be sunny and up to 57. I love it.
Please don't read me Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty please. I'm begging you. I'll give you $10 not to read Wednesday.
You don't Wednesday because
No.
Tuesday tomorrow we'll be out, so that the weather is gonna be fantastic.
This is great. There's the forecast. I'm going to cut the weather from the program.
Okay, just a couple of places only, if you're interested.
Nope.
In New York City now, right now is 54 degrees. Okay? In Atlantic City, you like Atlantic City, I know you're a gambler.
Nope.
It's 58 degrees right now.
Wow. That's interesting.
A couple of...
What's it like in Nova Scotia, Joe? I can't wait.
Nova Scotia, okay, it's around 43 degrees right now.
All right.
Okay. We have a few capitals of the world. I give you 4 only.
Give me 2.
2?
Give me none.
Okay. In Athens, it's 54 degrees right now.
All right.
Just like here.
I've gone on record saying I hate this segment.
In Geneva, it's 51 degrees. In London, it's 54 degrees. It's all 50-50. In Rome, it is... Rome is 56 again. Unbelievable. Wherever you go, it's
So
56,
exciting.
55, 50. That's a fantastic thing.
God bless you, Joe.
All right.
Hey, where's Joe? Joe, where's your friend? Where's Joe?
How you doing?
I wish your friend would come now and interrupt the show right now.
No. I don't
Interrupt
like
Joe's
that
weather.
because she interrupted me. Yeah.
All right, ex-staffer spills goods on Starbucks.
Yes.
We're going to get rid of the weather. It's never going to happen ever again. A former Starbucks employee is spilling the drink. The ex-staffer revealed in a TikTok that the coffee chain has allegedly stolen recipes from creators, including those that are on the secret menu. The TikTok, which was posted in January, received 182,000 views. The video was in response to another clip asking, why do restaurants be mad as F when TikTok make food items popular? I don't know. It sounds like some haters.
Yeah.
It sounds like haters, Joe. Oh boy. Joe, they got this new thing. I know you've heard about young mothers, maybe sometimes old mothers. They have a baby and they leave it on a doorstep somewhere. Or they throw it in a bathroom or a dumpster, or they leave it in their closet and these babies die. Well, they came up with this idea. It's called the baby box. It's a baby box, Joe. It's the first Kentucky infant left in a state baby box. This baby was born and left in the box, no questions asked, and instead of throwing it in the dumpster, you put it in this beautiful safe. Please do not open door unless you are in need of service. A Kentucky infant last week became the very first baby in the state left inside of a baby box. under a new state law permitting the anonymous drop-off of newborn babies. So instead of throwing them in the, I agree with it 100%. Instead of throwing your baby in a damn dumpster or leave it on a doorstep or in a box or in a field, you can now leave it in this box where someone will take care of it and make sure that baby lives. I hate the idea that we even have to have such a thing, Joe, but the infant was placed in the baby box at Bowling Green Fire Department. Said the baby box's founder and CEO, Monica Kelsey. Oh, she's gonna be making the rounds in the newspapers, trust me. The Bowling Green box has been operational for a little under 2 months before the first infant was received. Fire department staff received the child in fewer than 90 seconds. 90 seconds. I think when you open the lid, it sends you a message or something. This baby is healthy, this baby is beautiful, this baby is perfect, said Kelty, who added that the officials will now be searching for the child's forever home. They're not searching for the parent.
Well,
this
the
is supposed
DNA,
to be anonymous drop-off.
The DNA will tell you who are the parents.
If the parents in the DNA database.
Yeah, they're supposed to do that
Sounds
by law. Yeah, they're supposed to do everybody.
Are you in the database, Joe?
Yes, I do.
You're lying.
Why not?
I don't know. How'd you get in there?
When my daughter is in, I think my wife is in.
I'm in because I took a 23andMe.
Yeah, but so far I'm clean. I don't have any babies from
you're
other
not leaving
one.
no babies laying around, are you, Joe?
No, that's a cruelty.
It's
I
horrible.
don't leave the kid 1 second far away from my side.
Absolutely.
No.
The baby is healthy. The boxes created by Safe Haven Baby Boxes are intended to give desperate, distressed parents a safe place to drop off their new unwanted babies.
That's cruel.
While remaining anonymous. Saving lives. It saved this baby. Installed into the interior walls of the hospital or other public buildings like fire departments, they lock after a newborn baby is placed inside, and they notify staff through a silent alarm that the baby has been dropped off. Kentucky, I'm sure there's a camera somewhere recording stuff. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signed into law 2021 that permits the use of baby boxes for children less than 30 days old. Can't stick your 4-year-old in there, folks. The child was then surrendered here, was not abandoned. The child was legally, safely, anonymously, and lovingly placed inside the box, the warm box. The child was the 24th in the country to be surrendered in one of these boxes. I'd never even heard of these, Joe. At one of the 130 baby boxes established across the 9 states. The child was left safely and legally in this box so that the baby could be pulled from the other side of the by a firefighter. So the box is like a damn... You put the baby in, and there's a box on the other side where they pull it right through the wall. That's crazy, Joe. A blast from the past was dug up. Joe, you lived in the Civil War. What rank were you in the Civil War, Joe?
What Civil War?
The Civil War was nearly claimed another, it's in the 1800s, Joe, when you were about 25 years old. A Civil War nearly claimed another casualty after an archaeologist discovered a live artillery round buried in a foot of dirt in Gettysburg National Military Park. A lot of those explosions that didn't explode, you dig them up and they do explode. The U.S. Army's 55th Ordnance Company was called in to remove the blow up the shell. The archaeologist discovered the still live 10-pound shell. 10 pounds. It likely dates to 1863. That's when you were a teenager, Joe. The battle that claimed about 51,000 lives at Gettysburg. Manila, our friends in the Philippines. By the way, if you guys haven't seen, Fernando, Super Friends NYC, is in Vegas right now doing some really good, fun stuff. So if you haven't, make sure you check it out. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
He became president.
Wow.
His son.
His son. Well, remember it was Ferdinand Marcos. He embezzled hundreds of millions of dollars. His wife, Imelda, who had a shoe collection over 10,000 pairs of shoes. She was later, even though she was worth hundreds of millions of dollars, Joe, she was arrested in Miami in a boutique, going and touching really expensive garments, but they didn't know who she was. Caught on camera, Imelda Marcos. She would go up and see the beautiful garments, look at it, touch it like this, and then pull the button off. And some of those garments have really nice buttons. She was in there stealing buttons. Got caught red-handed. Imelda Marcos, worth $100 million, stealing damn buttons. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said Sunday he saw no reason why the Philippines should not have a visiting force agreement with Japan. All right.
That's a corrupt family.
That is a very corrupt family, Joe. Russia's body count. Troop deaths soaring with offensive expected. I'm not going to do it. A bust in the LA club shooting. Police in Louisiana. LA is not Los Angeles. It's Louisiana. I apologize. Bust in the Louisiana club shooting. Police in Louisiana's capital have arrested 2 people in a mass shooting that left 12 wounded at a nightclub, Joe.
I remember that.
What the hell? Nikhil Franklin and Jishan Jackson, both 19, were arrested Friday in Baton Rouge Police Department. He was charged. Franklin was charged with 12 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Jackson was charged with 12 counts of principal attempted first-degree murder. That means he was probably just with the guy. On January 22nd, shots rang out around 1:30 in the Dior Bar and Lounge. A dozen people were injured and most sustained non-life-threatening injuries. 3 victims were initially listed in critical condition, but they have all, thank God, recovered. How good is that, Joe? Cambodia Prime Minister Hun Sen ordered the shutdown of one of the largest independent news organizations in the country. You're in Cambodia, you can think about where you live, but if you're in Cambodia and they say shut down the newspaper or the TV show, they do it. Shut down. This, my friend, is Lizzo. So talented. She just won a Grammy for Song of the Year. She plays the flute and she can sing and everything else. It was the golden age of Lizzo. Tunisia, our dear friend Tunisia, has been arrested by police. Oh, it's not our friend Tunisia.
Tunisia is a country in North Africa.
I'm so dumb. I thought our Tunisia got arrested.
Oh, Tunisia is different.
All right.
That's a country.
Same spelling. Same spelling.
Arrest ex-jurists.
Yes, Tunisia police on Sunday arrested 2 former judges who were dismissed by President Kais Saied last year. A lawyer and local media in the second day of the wave of I don't care.
Probably
so our Tunisia did not arrest anyone, so that's good.
They were corrupt
That's good.
judges, actually.
Joe, where's New Zealand?
New Zealand on the right side of Australia.
Okay. More than 30,000 homes were without power in New Zealand's Upper North Island on Monday. That's Auckland. Auckland is their capital, right, Joe? I think.
They have hurricanes?
No. Nearby regions were hit by strong winds. Yes, heavy rains and huge swells of cyclone. Not a hurricane, Joe. A cyclone. What's wrong with you? Same shit, right? Cyclone Gabriel hit Norfolk Island on Saturday night with most destructive winds missing the island and is now sitting just north of New Zealand.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep it moving, Joe.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Blue Devil Sex.
Who are you saying hi to, Joe?
A friend of mine.
Blue Devil Sex Harassment Traffic Cop. Let's see what this is about. An NYPD traffic agent, Yvonne Llewellyn Campbell, alleges she was subjected to repeated lewd sexual advances by her lesbian supervisor, Marion Manick. They not sexually harass your employees. Shouldn't sexually harass anyone. NYPD traffic cop says her lesbian boss repeatedly sexually harassed her, including touching, once beckoning her into the supervisor's office while wearing a sex toy and asking to use it on her. Joe, what's a sex toy?
You know what?
I don't know, Joe. I don't have any idea. I was hoping you would
Her
describe
hand.
Her hand is a sex toy. Her hand is a sex toy. I believe my hand is a sex toy. At least that's what they told me in college. Sliwa. By the way, Rev.
How you doing, Shelby?
Rev put up a whole bunch of videos today, including the interview I did with Sliwa in Times Square. Make sure you guys check that out. Sliwa on guard for Candy Ray. Remember Candy Ray, Joe? Candy Ray is the man, the elderly 90-year-old man that was beaten almost to death, broke his jaw in 3 places, hit with clubs and stuff. The owner of Ray's Candy Shop, candy store, saved Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa when he was attacked on a Manhattan street in 1992. Wow. I'm gonna run that back because I don't think you all caught it. The owner of Ray's Candy Store. This is the guy who was almost the 90-year-old man who was beaten. It turns out he does sell candy, Joe. He has a candy store. It'd be pretty crappy if he sold candy without sugar. He actually saved Curtis Sliwa when Sliwa was attacked back in 1992, and the Red Beret Crusader says it's his turn now. Curtis Sliwa has never turned down an opportunity to be in the newspaper or on the news, trust me. Sliwa said Sunday that his crew, the Guardian Angels, I do not agree with Sliwa's politics or most of his views, but I agree he loves the city, and I agree he's a badass. He started the Guardian Angels, which have saved a lot of people over the years. Sliwa and his crew, the Guardian Angels, routinely patrol the streets where now 90-year-old Ray Alvarez was recently pummeled to ensure that he never gets hurt again. We're going to make sure everybody that knows that Ray is untouchable and he's with us. You really don't want a problem with the Guardian Angels, bro. They get about 40 of them on your ass. It's a problem. Alvarez was already a neighborhood fixture 30 years ago when he yelled at 3 men who were beating Sliwa outside the Angels apartment district, distracting them for just enough time for Sliwa to get away. By the way, Sliwa, back in the early 90s, Joe, he hailed a cab. He jumped in the cab, back door of the yellow cab opened. He got inside. If you're in a cab, Joe, you know they have the little window that you can reach in and give your money to the driver. The rest is plexiglass. Once you're in, you're in. The doors were disabled so he could not get out. He did not see that there was a man crouching down in the front seat of the passenger seat of the car. Curtis Sliwa got inside that taxi, says, "Take me to so-and-so," and all of a sudden, the passenger in the front seat on the floorboard jumps up and shot him 6 times through the window. Curtis Sliwa tried to get out. The handles were broken. He could not break the windows. What did he do, Joe? He jumped through the hole. Curtis Sliwa jumped through the hole and fought the men in the cab and got out that way. He was called a liar by the press. He was called a liar by his enemies. It turns out that John Gotti Jr., this is well documented, this is not me talking about it, orchestrated the hit for the stuff he had said about his father and about him. And he was shot 6 times and survived. So Curtis Lee was not to be played with. He was set up. If he would have been like most of us, like, "Oh, stop shooting me, I can't get out, I can't," he'd have been dead. He jumped through the window, the driver's, into the front of the cab, and then he kicked and fought while the driver's trying to drive, and this guy's trying to shoot him. Anyway, it's very, very, very sad. I'm glad he's okay. Sleigh noise sounded like partying. This is one of the people from Idaho. This is the douchebag creep who killed the 4 people, Joe. A survivor. They're finally speaking out. 2 women were on the 2nd floor. The survivor of the University of Idaho killings thought that the sounds of her 4 roommates being brutally stabbed to death was just noisy partying and may have passed out after running into the killer. So maybe she saw him coming through the hall. She's the one who identified him. He had a mask on. She closed her door and she got away. She could have very well been killed. Joe, when I went out to California my friend Pete, one of my very best friends, is a head chef at the Hilton Hilton Gardens in Fairfield, California. I went out there, Joe, and I was staying at the hotel because he always got me a rate. And I just got out of the shower, and I was sitting on my bed with a towel on, and then I was getting ready to watch Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones came on TV, and then I heard some loud kind of yelling and stuff in the hallway, and I thought it was just people partying. Didn't pay any attention, turned my TV up. It went on for about 5 or 10 minutes. I opened my door. There's a woman screaming, running past me in a towel. She's running, this is all documented too, by the way. She's screaming past me. Go to my Facebook. This happened 10 or 11 years ago. Screaming past me in a towel. And I said, "Can I help you?" She said, "Oh my God, yes." Fine as hell too. I go to her room, which is across the hall from me and down about 2 doors. She opens the door. There's her friend. Her friend is in a damn bra and panties, and she's hogtied on the bed. Got high heel shoes on, purple bra and panties. She's hogtied on the bed with her hands, with the little white zip ties behind her back. So, oh my God, what the hell? Obviously called 911, and then her friend had a knife, a little tiny piece of crap knife, and I tried to cut the strap for 10 minutes. First of all, I'm sitting on her back. She's fine as hell. They were 2 escorts, turns out. One, thank God, they worked together, but one would hide in the closet while the guy came in for 15 or 20 minutes with the other girl and then would leave, then she'd come out and resume. Well, because he was in there hog-tying her, the one that was in the closet ran out and went to the kitchen. He broke out of a window. I was considered a hero, although my friend Pete, who I'm going to have on the show to tell the story in detail, says I wasn't a hero. 1, because I didn't catch the guy. 2, because I never could cut her straps off. And anyways, and 3, they have video of me. Joe, they have video of me. This was when I was at my heaviest. So about 375 pounds. In a towel, I put on my shorts, no shirt, no socks, and I'm walking around the hotel trying to find security, going to the kitchen, looking for a knife. They've got about 30 minutes of old fat Boogie Bob walking around in the hotel. Anyways, I would love to get that footage, although it probably make me very sad. So I totally understand. You hear the noise, Joe, and you think it's just kids being loud or something. Paid all the papers. Who tends a job on a high note? A TikTok video of a service dog's final Southwest Airlines flight has gone viral, leaving viewers in tears. I can't watch stuff like that because I will cry. Kaya, a German Shepherd trained to comfort veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder, has flown Southwest over 250 times, Joe. This is a dog that helps people. I love that. Since Southwest posted the clip Wednesday, it has gained almost 18 million views already, Joe. It's probably 30 million by now. Kayla has been diagnosed with an unbeatable cancer. So even though her job has been to help humans for... How's your damn problem, kid? To help children, to help people on airlines, now Kayla has been diagnosed with an untreatable cancer and has been taken home to live out her final days in peace. Oh, that is such a sad story. I love anybody who helps anybody else. Like the time that I sat on a stripper's back and tried to cut her bonds. And then the worst part was, I waited in my room for about an hour. First of all, they pulled the fire alarm. I didn't pull it. Everybody in the hotel came out. I'm sitting on the lady's back cutting the thing. I'm looking out the door, and there's 45 people with their head in there. I go, I didn't do this. I'm just trying to cut the... And those zip ties are not easy to cut. If you had a real nice pair of scissors, you could have cut them. Anyways, long story short, it was embarrassing, but I was single. They were both very fine. I didn't know what their relationship was to the guy until the next day in the paper, that they were escorts. I thought they were a couple fine girls. And so I waited, sitting there trying to watch Game of Thrones and my thing. I'm sitting there, and I keep opening the door, and finally I saw them leaving. I heard them with their little suitcases leaving the hotel. And I was like, hey, how you okay? They're like, oh, thank you so much. And I felt like going, you guys want a drink? But I felt too creepy to do that. That'd have been creepy. Look at this, Joe. Spam is locked up again. That's a glass cabinet around the spam, Joe. Markets use facial recognition to stop shoplifters. They got facial recognition. This guy likes the steak.
You love spam.
I have a can in my fridge, but I haven't eaten it yet. This guy owns Brooklyn Fairs. That's, I guess, a big restaurant. I mean, a big place to buy stuff. He says rampant thievery has him and other grocery units using facial recognition technology and other measures like locking up the spam. They lock up the spam because I guess you could sell those for a couple bucks on the street. I'll buy 2 right now. Who's got the spam? I'll buy spam.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Joe,
well,
why don't we do what we're doing?
If you were, I give you a couple of them. That's all.
You better not give me the weather, Joe. I don't want it.
No weather. If it's your horoscope. If you were born today on this day.
If you were born on this day, just this day.
If you feel the need to make changes this year, then push ahead with them regardless of what other people might say. Your self-belief is such that more criticism you encounter, the more determined you will be to prove the doubters wrong.
Amen to that, Joe. Joe, you pick 2. Only 2. Whatever 2 you pick.
Aquarius, if you were born between January 21 to February 19, this is your horoscope. Before you begin something new over the next week, you must ask yourself one simple question. It is absolutely necessary. According to the planets, you could waste a lot of time and energy pursuing goals that are of no real importance. The Taurus. Well,
that's it.
What I said.
Joe says it, Joe does it. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
If you were born between April 21
send your angry
May
letters to
21.
Joe. Care of Jordan Joe.
That's my wife.
Taurus?
Taurus.
All right.
Be careful not to treat your wife with goodwill and love.
Be careful not to treat your wife with goodwill and love? What does that mean?
Always treat her like a queen.
Absolutely.
You need to be more of a team player, especially on the work front, where to make the most of your own ambitions, you need to help others with their ambitions as well. It is the old story. The more you help others, the more you help yourself.
I've been saying that for the longest time, Joe.
Okay, we have some.
Every day of the week, I walk by and you speak, and I reply to you. I got nothing to give, but every day I'm amazed to display the same disregard for me. I work very hard for me.
We have.
I don't have money to give to nobody but me, myself, and I. Why? I work for a
I
living.
wrote
I'm
a
tired of giving.
birthday for today.
Joe don't care.
Today.
Joe, you got your notebook out here. I see. Look at Joe.
I bought one, and I spent $3. Thank you.
One of my guys bought you that 2 years ago, Joe.
2 years ago is gone. The First Lady Bess Truman was born on this day in 1885.
Who?
The First Lady Bess Truman.
Harry
the
Truman's wife.
of Harry Truman.
Facts.
She was born 1885.
Hey, what's happening? How are you?
How are you, Mr. Truman?
Hi, Mr. Truman, who died 30 years ago. Can someone Google when Harry Truman died? Just when he died. I think it was 70-something, but
74, I believe.
1974? Let's see if Joe's right.
I don't remember, but I hope I'm right.
Okay. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
William Shockley.
You made that up.
Who invented the transistor, if you remember transistor. Everybody used to have a transistor, and you think he is big shot.
Used to walk around, listen to the radio like this.
Yeah.
He died in 1972. Thank you, Rev.
Oh,
just a real quick note. I met him when I was in Turkey. Apollo 11, whichever one went to the moon. Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. They did, and you guys can Google this. If you type in whichever one they were, I think they were number 11, but I can never remember. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and the other dude. They did a tour. They did a world tour, and the tour came through Turkey. And I didn't want to say, I didn't know them. We didn't even have television. So, but we got to go, and Joe, do you see this lady here? This elderly lady? Look at her. This is about the 40th time she's walked through here.
I think
Good for
there's
her.
something wrong.
Well, yeah, she's definitely getting exercise.
Okay,
God bless her.
Okay.
God bless her. So they did a big thing, and we got to meet when we say meet, they walk up and wave at you. You didn't get to sit in the car with them. So you got to meet the astronauts or wave at you. And even in Turkey, the streets were mobbed. And I don't remember any of that really, except for it was a day of school, and we got to go see them. And Harry Truman happened to come by. And I'm looking for that footage. If anybody could find that, that would be great.
Well, Harry Truman was a tough guy, tough president. He bombed Japan.
He's the only president ever to use nukes.
Yeah, but I studied a lot of history about that time. Almost Japan surrendered. You don't have to bomb them with that nuclear weapons. But they already surrendered. But he bombed them anyhow. Well, I feel sorry.
I tell you what, they bit off more than they could chew when they hit up. When they went to Hawaii and they bombed Pearl Harbor and drug us into it.
Yeah,
they surrendered real quick after the second. I think we dropped a total of 3. Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and one other, and I can't remember. Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and one other. It was horrible and horrific, and it could have saved, even though it took 1 million lives, hundreds of thousands of lives, it could have saved lives. I don't get into that. I just pray it never happens again.
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer was the mayor, Joe. He was actually the mayor of Cleveland.
Really?
Someone help me out. I can't remember what. Yeah, Joe. He, he had the big TV show. It's still on, believe it or not.
It's still on?
Jerry, yeah, morons watch it. If you watch it, you're not the moron I'm talking about. Some morons watch it. Others, I can't get through an episode. I used to love Jerry Springer. It was so different. And Jerry Springer was the mayor of, I think it was Cleveland. I could be wrong. Was it Ohio? Cincinnati. Thank you so much. It was Cincinnati. Hi,
Thank
Cincinnati.
you, Mr. Cincinnati.
Ambrose was quick on the thing. Joe,
Ambrose, good.
You know how he got fired? He got fired from being the mayor. You know how he got fired, Joe?
What, a humanizer?
He used a prostitute.
Oh, that's what I guess.
And he used a check. A personal check for a prostitute. The check came back to bite him. He was caught, and he was fired as the mayor of Cincinnati. Google it. I don't lie. I ain't lying.
No.
He went on to have one of the most successful talk shows of all time. Jerry. Steve Wilkos was his head of security guy. He went on to have a show. Steve. Both. I think Jerry's a despicable human being. I know you want money, but how many lives are you going to ruin?
He's 79 years old today.
I screwed my brother's mom on the next Jerry Springer.
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel. He's a singer. I believe he was in Genesis.
Yeah, singer and composer. Yeah.
What's that damn song? Sonny, help me out. Peter Gabriel's big song. Sledgehammer. Valerie. I knew Valerie would have it.
How you doing,
Sledgehammer. I wanna be my testimony. Joe loves that song. What else you got, Joe?
Helly Ho.
Ellie Ho. Never heard of her.
Okay.
Wasted my time, Joe.
Okay. Ruby Williams, a 49
singer. So definitely a singer. I can't pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, he will go.
He will.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss is a football player, now retired, played for the Minnesota Vikings, played for several teams, very troubled on and off the field, but Randy Moss, I think he went to the 49ers for a bit. I could be wrong. What else we got,
He's
Joe?
46 years old.
46. Happy birthday, Randy Moss.
Right, and the dead.
On the dead.
Very very big name is Richard Wagner.
Who?
Richard Wagner.
Who?
The composer. Richard Wagner. You don't know?
No, is it
They're
Wagner?
just like Beethoven and...
It's Wagner.
Tchaikovsky.
It's spelled Wagner, but it's Wagner. I don't know anything about him, but it's definitely Wagner. And he was big. I just don't know anything about it. What else you got, Joe?
Mattis Balsam.
Next,
Waylon Jennings.
Waylon Jennings is considered one of the outlaws of country western music.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings had a whole bunch of songs. He was as big as they get. Him, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and I can't remember the other one, but God bless him.
Well, Trogoy the Dove, the co-founder
Joe,
of hip-hop.
I cannot even believe, not a co-founder of hip-hop, but I cannot believe you're actually pulling that out of your hat. You know why, Joe?
He
died
died
yesterday.
Yeah.
Died yesterday.
Well,
Joe's really
we
up
didn't
on it.
mention it yesterday.
No,
Why?
man. Well, because he died like last night.
Well,
It just hit the internet yesterday. If you guys watch, if you like De La Soul,
Yeah.
Pasta News was my boy, little baby Huey, and of course the Dove. The Dove was the third guy in the group, and Potholes in My Lawn. Shout out to him. He died very young. Died yesterday. Wasn't the founder of hip hop, but certainly De La Soul was there
The
in the 80s.
co-founder.
Wasn't the co-founder, but he certainly was there early. And God bless him. Merle Haggard was another. Willie
Big
Nelson,
man.
Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, and I don't know if Johnny Cash was part of that or not. I don't know. But anyways, Joe, we're done. I gotta go. I've had
How
40
you doing,
phone
my
calls.
friend? Thank you for listening.
Hold on,
how-
Alaska Storms.
how are you,
Alaska Storms is not your birthday. Happy birthday tomorrow, Alaska Storms. Will you remember that, Joe?
Tomorrow, Alaska.
Tomorrow, Joe will be singing Happy Birthday, so make sure you wear a suit and tie. And I had the time of my life. I never felt this way before. But Joe,
That's
it's true.
he sang for you.
Joe,
birthday.
I owe it all to you and I. Joe,
That's
you
nice.
complete me. Joe, you had me at hello.
Oh, no problem.
You had me at hello, everybody. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Please be kind and loving to each other. Joe, thank you as always for being a good
Have a
role model
day,
as a
everybody.
human being. Guys, Rev put up at least 30 videos today. There's some really, really good ones in there. I hope you guys take the time to check them out. We've got some Boogie Bob classics. We will talk again. We're already at 540 subscribers, Joe. Once we hit 1,000, I'm going to do a show completely naked. I'm going to sit on Joe's lap completely naked and do a show for you guys.
Where are the other 7,000?
I don't know. I don't know. Don't care. Talk to you soon. God bless you.
Okay. Have a nice day, Papi.
Oh, Joe, you out of here?